This is the Generic Live Show for Sunday, the 29th of April, 2018. And it starts right now.
You are listening to a podcast of the Geek.io Media Network. For all of our shows and more, visit geek-io.net. And to help support the network, head over to patreon.com/geek.io.
We're here to give you a big dose of genericness. This is the Generic Live Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Generic Live Show. This is the Generic Live Show for Sunday, the 29th of April, 2018. I am Dale Campbell. Thank you for joining me. It's a pleasure as always. Thanks for joining me here on a Sunday. We're not going to try and sell you something weird on the show today, because that was in the pre-show, and we're not in the pre-show anymore. And if you were actually, this is actually a good time. I think we had a good pre-show this time around because it was just so mellow. I'm in a mellow mood today, so it's always good to take a step back. We don't have to be this tweety thing. But again, if you want the top of the show, if you want the pre-show and the post-show, you can wait like everyone else to watch the video on demand on Wednesdays. But if you want it early, here's a tip. Patreon.com/geek.io. You get the pre-show, the post-show, hour 1, hour 2. You get the whole Generic Live Show experience all in one go. Thank you everyone for joining us. We've got a very special show for us. We better keep moving really quickly because we've got a lot to get to. Just a couple of few housekeeping reminders to get out of the way. You can go over to bit.ly/askdale. That is bit.ly/askdale. And to submit your questions to the first ever Ask Generic Live Show Anything. The Ask Me Anything. Take two. The Generic Live Show Ask Me Anything over at bit.ly/askdale. And we're going to be hosting that right here, 10 p.m. Tuesday, the 1st of May. So you got until Tuesday to submit your questions. We're going to, of course, be doing it live. So you can submit your questions right up until then. And you can do that. You can ask them, and you can do it live in the chat. But the ones that submit them to the link will get to the top of the queue. That's right, you can ask daily! But please, no questions about Donkey Kong Country 3. I really just want to be done with that. That was a dumb thing to do. It's going to be May by the time we get to it. And I've already made that joke twice tonight, and we're moving on. And being in the future, like, it's 8:05 a.m. On the 30th, so I got another day before I get to make that joke. So there you go. We're going to be singing that song. It's going to be called The Episode That Won't Be Up on YouTube. And I've said too much. But again, Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern. For that, right here, twitch.tv/geek.io show. That's going to be great. I'm so sorry. Sheesh. Oh no! No, Bob! Bob from Bobbing Stand. Don't get upset. I mean, you nearly spoiled the Avengers movie, but please, don't get upset. Don't get upset. Speaking of Bob from Bobbing Stand, he's going to be taking over the show on the 13th of May. A whole month of this. So, CJ Boat from Geek.io will be taking over the Generic Live Show on Sunday the 13th of May. Please listen to it. I'm positive. I'm positive it's going to be a great show, and CJ's going to be doing a wonderful job. Major Avengers spoilers in the pre-show, so enjoy that. We tried to sell you Tinted Unicorn Beat. Man, this is... I feel like listening to the referencing this pre-show too much. So wanted to get that out there quickly, and that I'm not. I mean, the pre-show was good. I like the pre-show. Not positive at all. I am very positive that you're going to be doing a great job. I'm very positive. You'll have the Generic Live family. You'll have the Generic Live family to support you. And now that I've called you all my family, it's gonna get weird very quickly. Hey, you guys, we've got a show to do. Let's do a show, shall we? It's a very weird week, and I'll explain why. It'll become apparent throughout the show why this week, out of all the weeks, are extremely strange. You know the band Abba. You know the band Abba. Abba, ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to say, they're back, baby! Abba announced first music since 1982. Swedish quartet said new material was an unexpected coincidence. That's what I call this show. Every week, I just come and I don't do a show, I do an unexpected coincidence. I just happen to be in front of my computer every time. Their recent decision put together a virtual reality tour. I'm not sure what that means by that. Quote, we all four felt that after some 35 years, it would be fun to join forces again and go into the studio, the band said on Instagram. And here's that Instagram post. From that, the decision to go ahead with the exciting Abba Avatar Tour project. What they should have called it is okay, Abba, pro tip, here's what you should have called it. You should have called it the Happy Fluffy Abba Ice Cream Time. That would fit, right? The Happy Fluffy Abba Tour? I would say go to something called the Happy Fluffy Abba Tour. It doesn't quite roll off the tongue, though. It's a little rough around the edges. That's why I'm not a tour manager. Also, Abba, so let me get this right. Abba's not actually touring. Some Abba avatars, I say that 10 times fast, are touring instead, right? Is that what I'm picking up here? Or are they still going to be there singing, or is it just going to be holographs like they do with dead people? Actually, I could have phrased that better. Too late now. We'll roll with it. Like they do to dead people. Hey, Dale, plot twist. They do a lot to dead people. Just FYI. They do a lot to dead people. No, don't add that as a quote. No, don't clip this either. No, I don't need that on my record. I continue reading from the Abba official Instagram account, which I don't know why I'm not following it, but anyway. We all four felt that after some 35 years, it'd be fun to join forces again and go into the recording studio. So we did. And it was just like the time we stood still and that we only had been away on a short holiday. An extremely joyful experience. It resulted in 2 songs. One of them, I Still Have Faith in You, will be performed by our digital selves in a TV special produced by NBC and the BBC, aired broadcasting in December. We may have come of age, but the song is new and it feels so good. Aww. Oh, look at them. Look at them. Those avatars look very realistic. We got a video here. Let's see what commercial plays. And stop. And stop. And I'm on the mute button. Enjoy. Hey, you know what we love? We love all of our sponsors, including Tweaked Audio. Oh, and voicemeter.com apparently. All of them. Patreon.com/geekio. Alright, here we go.
Material for it. New ABBA songs. We don't know what the avatars will sing yet, but there's lots to choose from of the old stuff, and yeah, I'm not ready to say that yet.
So there could be
Exactly.
new songs. There could be new songs.
It's up in the air. It's up in the air.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
We call that being trapped in a corner.
You write new material for
Yep.
it. New ABBA songs.
You know, we're listening to
We
it
don't
again.
know what the avatars will sing yet, but there's lots to choose from of the old stuff, and yeah, I'm not ready to say that yet.
So there could be
Exactly.
new songs. There could be new songs.
It's up in the air. It's up in the air.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited for new album stuff. What's this? Don't tell me I'm about to play copyrighted music live on the internet.
It was
Oh, here
wonderful.
we go.
And it was like no time had passed at all. It was like in the olden days. They were happy, it was easy, warm-hearted, and it was actually quite moving.
Tearful?
Yes, and I wasn't the only one with tears in my eyes.
And what's the song like? Is it classic?
You will recognize the song, you will recognize the Abba sound. It has the Abba's melancholy in it, but it's still an Abba sound, recorded last year. So it's a modern Abba song.
Is it more slipping through your fingers or Waterloo?
Then it's more slipping through my fingers.
Will this lead to a stage tour, or is this just a studio moment?
It's a studio moment, I can promise you.
Because we were promised they'd
Aw.
never get back under any circumstances. It seems they're pushing at the door.
Oh, don't expect too much.
Okay.
I think we should be very happy they've been together in the studio. It was magic.
Oh, that was from the BBC. I you know what? This could come as a surprise to no one, but I really enjoy ABBA. I really like ABBA. I wasn't listening to ABBA in the pre-pro show, but I don't know why. But I was listening to the Mamma Mia soundtrack. I love that movie, by the way, and I'm kind of, this is kind of a side tangent, but not really. I kind of am looking forward to see what they do with Mamma Mia 2. Oh my god, she's pregnant. It's the full name of that movie. It's a really strange direction, but yeah, I am really looking forward to that and seeing what they do with that, and excuse me, modern ABBA music in 2018 for the first time since 1982. It's wild. So to celebrate, we thought it would be a perfect time to have a look back on 1982 in a segment that we like to call Dale Not Queuing Daily presents This Is Not My Show. Or is it? I forget. I can't remember. 1974, 1981, 2002, 2001, 1941, 704. Is it the same as you remember? Or is it the same as it ever was? That's right. I don't know why. I got the coughs. I don't know why. I'm suddenly getting choked up. You have the music. Oh my god. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the same as you remember, same as it ever was. This is the part of the show where we take a look back in the past and see where life leads us. So there you go. We're going to go with January 1982 to see if we get any international years of, because that's our favourite thing ever, is to suddenly stumble across magical years like the youth year and international elders year back to back. And I think the ironic thing was the youth year was older than elders year. But anyway, that's not the point. Let's go back to 1982, where I don't think they had an international year for something. We got January 1st, 1982. 30-something stars Ken Olin and Patricia Wettig meet and then later get married. Oh. There you go. The Peru... someone in Peru, I'm not pronouncing that name, becomes the 5th Secretary General of the United Nations. The MTA launches a 5-year plan to upgrade the New York subway system. Man, a lot of these January ones in New York public transport related, I'm noticing. Also on January 1st, 1982, Pope John Paul II prays for an end to marital law in Poland. There you go. January 4th, 1982, Chris Wallace becomes co-anchor of the Today Show. Also January 4th, 1982, Golden Gate Bridge closed for 3rd time by fierce storms. January 5th, 1982, Arkansas judge rules against arbitrary teaching of creation. It's them baby making. I don't think so. January 8th, 1982, Johnny Cash Parkway opens in Hendersonville, Tennessee. There you go. Also January 8th, 1982, Justice Department withdraws... Oh, God. Antitrust? Antitrust. That sounds like a drug. Antitrust. Get it at your local pharmacy today. Take once per day with food. We can have it from that prescription mug pill from the pre-show. Again, I should really stop referencing the pre-show. It was a fun pre-show. But the Justice Department takes some antitrust and withdraws antitrust suit from IBM. Pending since. It's been pending ever since. Ugh. January 11th, 1982, Atlanta, Georgia's temperature goes below 0 Fahrenheit. Ugh. That's weird. January 17th, 1982, Cold Sunday, it's dubbed, in the United States would see temperatures fall to their lowest levels in over 100 years in numerous cities. It wouldn't be a generic live show without a bit of sports. January 19th, 1982, Australia versus West Indies, one game that produced a Privacy Council Liberal case. Cricket going to court in 1982. January 22nd, 1982, 75% of North America was covered by snow. Oof. Here's a fun one. January 23rd, 1982, UB Blanca took some antitrust and produces, get this, produces a record of 110 kilograms of milk in Cuba. I'm going to ask my trusty assistant here what that is. What is 110 kilograms of milk in pounds?
Here's what I found on the web for what is 110 kilograms.
What is 110 kilograms in pounds?
That would be 242.51 pounds.
There you go. 242.51 pounds. You know, my assistant, he typically gets things a little mixed up sometimes. There you go. January 26th, 1982, apart from being Australia Day, hurrah, for the first time since the 1930s, the unemployed population in the UK raises above 3 million. Oof. January 28th, 1982, US performs nuclear test at Nevada test site. Man, that sentence is going to be ironic come the rest of the episode. So there you go. Stay tuned for that. Also, on January 31st, 1982, male figure skating. I don't know why I say finger. It's figure skating championship was won by Scott Hamilton. Not in this script, but it also says that Dick Buttons was attending that event. It also said that Dick Buttons may or may not have been there. We can't confirm nor deny. Ooh, January 9th, 1982, Catherine Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton, English wife of Crown Prince William. They got married in 1982? That seems like forever ago. Huh. That does seem like forever ago. And ladies and gentlemen, that was the same. Was it the same as you remember, or the same as it ever was? This is not my show! Or is it? I forget. I can't remember. 1974, 1981, 2002, 2001, 1941, 704. Is it the same as you remember? Or is it the same as it ever was? That's right. That was the same as you remember. Same as it ever was. And also, I enjoy the fact that it's called, again, Dale did not mention live on air how old he was come 1982. So that's why Abba didn't release any new music, is because half of America was under snow. And I know they're Swedish, I know it's the joke. We're trying to do a show. If someone dare types that they were Swedish and I just made a very insensitive, racist joke, I'm gonna flip. That's America. It's the center of the universe. America! As we continue here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday, well, we're gonna get to the real story of the week. The Koreans have walked into the history book, and we'll break it down here for you as we continue here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. It's Dale Campbell here with you. It's a pleasure, as always. We're doing it for Geek.io. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back after these messages. Stay tuned. The Generic Live Show is proudly powered by you. That's right, you. Patreon.com/Geek.io is where you can support this show and all of your favorite Geek.io productions. For as little as $1 a month, you get everything that we do in one nice nifty RSS feed. And you can get a special room in our Discord at geek-io.net/Discord and hang out with all of your favorite geeks. Just head on over to patreon.com/Geek.io. That's patreon.com/Geek.io, GEEKIO, for all the reward levels, including a produce your own show level, and for all of the details. We thank you for your support. Are you a fan of the Generic Live Show? Now you can fill your home with the best Generic Live Show products by heading over to Generic Live Home. You can either pick up a Generic Live mug, or a Generic Live shirt, or even a Generic Live pillow, or maybe even all three. Everything at Generic Live Home is at affordable prices. So go check out the full range now over at geek-io.net/Generic Live Home. And we thank you for your support of the Generic Live Show.
You finally found the most generic live show. This is the Generic Live Show.
Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. It's Dale Campbell here with you. It's a pleasure as always. We're doing it for Geek.io. Thanks for joining us here on a Sunday. It's a pleasure as always, and we're here. We're doing it again. This is actually gonna be my last show for a while on a Sunday. I just realised that because we've got the GLS AMA airing at 10 PM Tuesday, 1st of May. And then that'll be going up on the feed on the 6th, so I won't be here on the 6th. Spoiler alert. And then we've got Bob from Bobbing Stand doing a takeover show on the 13th. So this is actually going to be my last show on a Sunday for a while. I won't be having it completely off. I'll be traveling around, so I won't be laying in bed. I'll be Pokemon Go to bed. But I'll be resting up. I'll be resting. I just said I wasn't going to do that. I'll be in Melbourne one week and in Brisbane the next. And if you want to meet up while I'm there, please do hit me up. The best place to do that is probably the Discord. geek-o.net/discord. And throw it in the general channel. We can move from there. Or you can @reply me, twitter.com/TheDaleCampbell, TheDaleCampbell. I'll probably tweet out if I'm somewhere. Maybe not. I know me too well, so there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the main event here. The peace is in their hands. The Koreas vow to end the war. The war is over in the Koreas. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and South Korean President Moon Jae-in have decided that they want to see a formal end to the Korean War this year. They want to be at peace with each other. We've got a video here from the ABC, which kind of sums it up very well. And I know the ABC doesn't put ads in their videos, so we'll play that real quick, and it kind of sums up Kim Jong-un walking over the border. At least that's what the caption says. And play. They shake hands. They're talking. I'm narrating this. South Korean president welcomes him over there. And they're holding hands as they walk over. Aww. That is lovely. It's the moment they some kids handed the North Korean leader some flowers, and now they're walking down. They're walking into a festival, as it seems? I don't know. They're walking inside. Okay. Oop. I did not want to replay that video. So that's what the lovely moment was all about. So some key points for you, because we like to do that here on the Generic Live Show. We like to summarize things for you. Mr. Moon also crossed the decriminalization line into the north as well. Mr. Kim wrote, "A new history starts now," in Peace House guest book. The leaders are expected to have planted a memorial tree at the border Trans Village. Kim Jong-un becomes the first North Korean leader to cross the border in the south since the signing of the peace war armaments in 1953, attending an historical summit with his southern counterpart Moon Jae-in. This is a very impactful story, and I've got a little bit of an anecdote to round it out afterwards as well. There's a lot going on here. A new history starts now. So let's. So here is a very important GIF. Leaders met to cross the border. This is very visual, I know. And that the Peace House meeting room, the DMZ. They met at the border. Then they walked across the field to the peace meeting area. I quote, "A new history starts now, an age of peace from a starting point in history," Mr. Kim wrote in the book, dating and signing the entry. During their private meeting, Mr. Kim and Mr. Moon had come to the summit to end the history of conflict, and joked he was sorry for keeping Mr. Moon up with all of his late-night missile tests. A South Korean official said, "This is the official signing that we're watching here." It's Mr. Kim, the president, with the Mr. Moon sitting there. This is what and we've got a ton of photos. We'll go through them next hour as well. We've got North Korean. This is the tree planting. Again, it's very audio. It's not very pleasant for audio. But they've got two piles there, one for representing North Korea, one representing South Korea. And they're basically putting on topsoil at this point, I believe. And then they shake hands. It's a very historic moment, and I'm not going to take anything away from that. It's very historic, and it's a fantastic move into history. But I just, something that worries me is that, I shouldn't say this, but I am, and I will, is how long will this last? I know that is a terrible thing to say. Please do send hate mail in, genericliveshow@gmail.com at that line. But I do have to wonder that sometimes. I do have to wonder, going, what's going on here? And there was reports before we went on the air this morning that there have been reports of them actually shutting down the nuclear test site by the end of May. And I kind of going, what is happening? You know, something. But again, not that we should be complaining. Again, we forgot to mention that it's the first time. It's the first time since in 65 years that this has happened. So there you go. There's something else here that I wanted to read. The US president took to Twitter, because of course he did, and he tweeted Korean War to end. He wrote, After a furious year of missile launches and nuclear testing, a historic meeting between North and South Korea is now taking place. Good things are happening, but only time will tell. And it's that last bit where I'm like, I agree with kind of, not that I'm saying that it won't work, I'm just saying that I want to see what's next. The context behind that quote is he's kind of saying that, he's kind of saying that, I'm hoping it will last, and I want to see what's next. The president's saying that he doesn't know how long it's going to last, and for a president to come out and say that, it's a little much. I'm just a schlubby old podcaster. I can kind of say that. So, and the meeting between the North Korean and the United States leaders are getting closer. There are speculations that it's now going to get bumped to June because of all of this, and they're going to be meeting there, or if Kim Jong-un is going to go to America. We just don't know. Apparently, he sent his then CIA chief and now Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to meet Kim Jong-un at Easter. Then, at a secret meeting in Beijing with Chinese President Xi 4 weeks ago, Kim reportedly said, "Achieving denuclearization of the peninsula is our consistent position." But he added that South Korea and the US need to take simultaneous measures to achieve peace. And I said this at work the other day. When this story broke, we had quite a conversation about it because spoiler alert, at work we have a vast array of opinions that people have different political beliefs, and that's fine. People can have different political beliefs, and we can have that conversation as long as people don't scream in my face. I'm all good, and when that happens, you'll know about it. But because I'll bring it here. But the point is that people again were taking the stance of how long this will last, and I can see that point of view. I don't hold that point of view. I want to see what's next to the ultimate goal. I think this will last. I made the point that Kim Jong-un is no longer under the presence of his father, so he no longer has to please him, if that makes sense. So there's not that animosity there as there used to be, for sure. Sorry, just bad mic etiquette there. And maybe this was a goal for North Korea to go, a wake-up call for North Korea to go, hey, we don't want to do this anymore. Now, one point I should make about this is this kind of, I think this got kick-started because of the US bombing Syria. I have a sneaking suspicion that this is what kick-started this goal. And that's fine. Like, people in real life, people need motivation to do things. Like, I get it, and most of that, unfortunately, comes from a tragedy, a tragic event, or some form of tragedy, to try and kickstart an event. You know, it happens, and you will think of it like this. And I know these are two vastly different experiences, and warning, bad Dale analogy alert. I need a sounder for that. It's like someone who stored too many nuts for the winter, and we're now in spring, and we need to get rid of those nuts. And you suddenly wake up one day and you go, oh, I have a few more nuts that I need to get rid of. I'm sugarcoating this to all heck and back, and you can read between the lines if you want to about that. But also the point is that it kind of. And then we've got a South Korean girl at work. I won't say her name because she hasn't given me permission to, so I'm not gonna, unless someone tells me that they can't, like, outside of our sphere, outside of the Generic Live family. Plus, also, I think she wants to be gender protected in this way. But I will say that she's happy for the news because she now knows that her family are safe in South Korea, and from on the ground, I can only imagine, looking at it from a bird's eye view, from so far away, and through a computer screen, then it's a different experience than to have actual family and friends living on the ground, dealing with this day to day, going through the motions, and then having all of this. They've seen the development between the relationship between the North and the South for a long time, apparently, there locally. It hasn't come across the international radar before now, and I think this is a fantastic move. I worry that someone is going to make a misstep as well. I'm not saying that the peace talks won't go ahead, or the meeting in June won't happen, which that's going to make June an interesting month to try and find more topics to talk about other than that, although they made this the major story of the day. But this doesn't involve Mr. T directly. Can we take a vote on whether he's now still banned from this show, or if we're going to lift that ban for that week? Because we can't not talk about that. Surely, we've been dumped into the politics category apparently, so we gotta live up to the expectation. At least bring up one political story a week to try and stay in the politics category. Inside jokes, but for me, she's from my point of view, we went deep down on this conversation as well, and the Koreas recently have, particularly South Korea, have kind of embraced other culture, if that makes sense. And South Korea has always been, quite frankly, bizarre, because you got K-pop, that's a whole league of its own, and that's come from South Korea, and now they're starting to embrace different parts of the world, and we're now all coming together as one. And she says that, again, living on the ground, you see that small incremental change day to day, and it's very impactful. Food for thought on the Generic Live Show. We have an article here which we'll probably go through next hour. We've got a whole bunch of photos here. We'll go through these photos and videos next hour as well. But I just wanted to. That'll be next hour. This hour one is always the heavy hour, and it'll never stop being. It'll never not be the heavy hour. Anyway, as we continue here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday, it's Dale Campbell here with you. We're doing it for GeekIO. Thanks for joining us. I wanted to bring up a story from last week that we didn't really have time to go over last week. So we're going to bring that up again here on the Generic Live Show. We had an unfortunate passing this last couple of weeks, and we want to bring you up to speed on that, because I think we got feedback last week that we kind of rushed that story, and we need to give it the respect that it deserves. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show. It's Dale Campbell here with you. We're doing it for GeekIO. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back after these messages. Stay tuned. The Generic Live Show is proudly powered by you. That's right, you. Patreon.com/GeekIO is where you can support this show and all of your favorite GeekIO productions. For as little as $1 a month, you get everything that we do in one nice nifty RSS feed. And you can get a special room in our Discord at geek-io.net/Discord and hang out with all of your favorite geeks. just head on over to patreon.com/geekio. That's patreon.com/geekio, GEEKIO, for all the reward levels, including a produce your own show level, and for all of the details. We thank you for your support. Generic Live Show is sponsored by ProXPN. ProXPN is an uber secure VPN that believes you should be able to use the internet how you want to, by encrypting all traffic that goes through it. It keeps all of your data private and your IP is completely hidden, so your location is secure. Keeps you safe from stupid cable 6 strike rules and more. With everything going on, ProXPN is a good investment and is very affordable, and won't break the bank. Keep your traffic safe. Go to proxpn.com and use GEEK20, that's GEEK number 2 number 0 GEEK20 for 20% off the already really low price, starting at $6.25 a month. We thank ProXPN for their support of the Generic Live Show.
Hold on tight. This is the Generic Live Show.
Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. It's Dale Campbell here with you. We're doing it for Geek.io. Thanks for joining us. It's a pleasure as per always. I'm very distracted right now. I do apologize. For the record, thank you, Techie Gamer, for the host. Thank you so much. It means everything to me. Thank you. Listening live at twitch.tv/geekio show. But no, at twitch.tv/techiegamer as well. So there you go. We're in all of the places, all at once. Thanks for joining me on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. We've got a lot more show to get to now. A story that you guys last week kind of got on my case for kind of skipping over. I spent approximately 1.5 seconds on this story last week, and it wasn't really fair on me, and kind of skipped over this, and it is kind of a big deal in some circles, and I do apologize for skipping over it, but we're gonna bring it to you right now. Avicii, electronic dance music producer and DJ, died at age 28. Tim Bergling, the Swedish DJ and electronic dance music producer who rose to fame under the stage name Avicii, was found dead on Friday in Muscat, the capital of Oman. He was only 28 years young. His death was confirmed by a spokeswoman, Diana Barron, who did not specify the cause. Update, we still don't know the cause. Update, we still know nothing. I need to, let's look. Don't add that as a quote either, I don't need that on my record. 28, damn, yeah, really young. The quote, the family is devastated and we ask everyone to please respect their need for privacy in this very difficult time, Miss Barron said. Avicii became famous with his 2011 hit Levels, and was a part of a wave of electronic dance music DJs who achieved pop star levels of prominence. His songs have been streamed more than 1 billion times. We've got a CNN article here about details on his death. We do have a video here, and this episode working with Raldo is very, very interesting. I don't know if you know this, but working with him was so interesting. It's just so enticing. All right, here we go. And not. And play. And... Alright. And we got a lot of... the Swedish DJ and producer was found dead in Moscow. The cause is unknown. We're going to get to some talking. And we just got this bit. Forever. His most popular hit was Wake Me Up in 2013. Oh, I missed that. Missed that boat. Alright. He retired in 2016, including acute pancreatitis. We don't... Yeah, well... If you say you've got an update on his death of his details of his death, please do include them in your video. Also, please include talking in your video as well. It's kind of important. But the Swedish held a memorial for him, which apparently was really, really well put together. And I don't really have any photos from that. He worked with Madonna and Chris Martin, the crossover, and made a crossover pop hit in 2013. Yeah, he passed away, and I actually do quite like Avicii's music. It's quite upbeat, and 2013 was a breakout year for him, and 2014 in fact. Both, and my favorite Avicii song though is Hey Brother. I don't know, there's something about that song that gets me every time. I'm going to play it on the show, obviously, because we're having problems on YouTube already. So, CNN is bad for that, says Techie Gamer. Yeah, it's CNN. It's not just CNN. CNN's bad for putting ads right in front of the video, and I have to ad-lib to try and work around them. If we happened... Could you imagine if we just accidentally happened to pick on one of our sponsors for those? That'd be great. Again, he quit international touring 2016 at age 26, into a series of health scares that struck while he was on the road. He had his gallbladder and appendix removed in 2014. Before that, at 21, he learned that he had acute pancreatitis and said it was related to excessive drinking. Quote, I was partying way too much, partying in way general too much, he said in a 2013 interview with Time magazine. So that forced me to do a 180 and stop drinking. That sentence is a little... I'm not going to say that. But I was drinking way too much and partying in a way general too much. It's a little off. He wrote, what I feel I was born to do. The next stage will be about my love of making music to you guys, he says. It's the beginning of something new. Wow. That is... And yeah, again, 28. That's way too young. That just makes me feel kind of scared, to be completely honest. Let's not beat around the bush here. I'm approaching that age very quickly, and not that I have an excessive drinking problem anymore. Let's get that right out of the way. There was a dark time in my life, but we're not going to go there, where I was excessively drinking every single day of the week, and that sucks. And again, we're doing Real Talk Week here on Geek.io. If you again are struggling with these sorts of issues, reach out and tell someone. genericliveshow@gmail.com is the show email. Dale@geek-io.net is my direct email. Again, if you just feel the need to reach out, please do so. I can give you my Australian cell number if you really need that. It's all about the connections. So there you go. How about, you know what? that's all we kind of have. This week we're gonna. We'll get the announcements out of the way at the end of hour 2 here. You can go over to bit.ly/askdale. That's bit.ly/askdale. And we're recording that the GLSAMA, the Generic Live Show Ask Me Anything, on Tuesday, the 1st of May at 10 PM Eastern, twitch.tv/GeekIO show. And just as a reminder, that'll be going up on the feeds in the regular time slot at on the 6th of May. And remember, Bob from Bobbingstan will be taking over the GeekIO. What show is this? Where am I? Who am I? Where are my pants? Bob from Bobbingstan. I've got it written here. Bob from Bobbingstan will be taking over the Generic Live Show. It's so confusing now that I'm saying for the Generic Live Show. The Generic Live Show on the 13th of May, and it is going to be amazing. And I don't care what CJ says. He's going to be doing a smashing job with it. So there you go. How about we do kick it to hour 2? We got a bit of stuff left in hour 2, so we're gonna kick it to hour 2. We're gonna make this hour a bit shorter. Yay! All right. Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. It's Dale Campbell here with you. It's a pleasure, as always. New rumors about a new iPhone. It's a week ending in Y. It's a week ending in K. So, that's right. Rumors are abound that a new, cheaper iPhone's on the way. We'll tear that rumor apart as we continue here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. It's Dale Campbell here with you. We'll be right back after these messages, and we'll see you in hour 2.